Welcome to WeTM, where we talk music. You're here with the one and only JB the Truth, lover of all things music. Today we got a special guest with us. You've seen him on VH1 Sign. You've seen him on songs with some of your favorite artists like Maxo Cream, Casey Veggie, Squap Dad 4000. He's a lyricist who can get deep, get barred up. He can give you the melodies and also switch it up and give you some party vibes as well. New Orleans' very own Chanel Reed, aka Nilly.
What's good, bro?
What's good, man?
Hey, man, you and your Shannon Sharp with the intros, bro.
Come on, man.
I'm feeling lifted.
Come on, I gotta put some respect on who I got in the room right here.
Man. I fuck with it. I fuck with it. Appreciate it, dog. Glad to be here, soaking up the Houston vibes. I've been moving all around, but trying to find a second home in Houston. I'm tired of moving around. I want to stay put for a long time. Maybe put some roots down right here. So. But yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. Houston's a great place to put roots down. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that you found your way here, and hopefully it treats you right.
Yeah.
I think it's only right if we take it all the way back to the beginning of New Orleans, a city that I personally love, and it has a lot of rich culture.
Yeah.
Do you remember where this love for music started, or what were your first experiences with music just overall, where you start to kind of gravitate towards it?
Yeah, it started in the church. My mama was a choir director. So if you know about New Orleans it seemed like a big city to outsiders, but it's really like 15 minutes through and through. So like my mom used to work at the church and she was a choir director. So like after I would leave my elementary school, Parkview Elementary in Gentilly, my mom would pick me up if I had football, basketball practice, go to the church, wait for her to get off, and then she would have choir rehearsal after. So I'm a little kid, I'm tweaking to go home. But just sitting in there watching sopranos, altos, tenors, voices meshing to be one. Mm-hmm. And I remember I caught chills. I didn't even know what it was. I was like, why is my arm like this? I couldn't even fathom it, but like really I caught chills with the harmonies of music. And then, I started like singing in the choir. Just because I was always with my mom with that. And then like I would see how praise and worship would translate over to emotion and getting other people to feel and vibe, and like it meant something. So that's when I fell in love with music. But rap music, that's Kanye West for sure.
Oh, really?
Kanye West for sure. College Dropout is the reason why I do rap music, because shout out my dad. He was blasting the Black Album, Get Rich or Die Trying, old school Ice Cube and stuff. So he'd be playing that stuff, and I would listen to it. It was cool, but I couldn't identify with that.
Right.
I didn't see myself as the next 50 Cent. I didn't see myself as Jay-Z. But when I heard College Dropout, I was like, oh, this dude, he doing it different. Like, and it just had a pull on me. Like all the songs at this time, we got the CDs, so I'm grabbing the CDs, opening it up. I can't even pronounce his name.
Right.
But yeah, College Dropout changed my life, and it planted the initial seed of like, I want to do that someday.
That's what I was about to ask. Yeah. Was it just a love at that point, or did you actually know like, hey, I think I can be like this person, not be like that person, but that influence is so strong that now I want to be an artist as well?
Yeah, because I didn't even really like rap music like that for real, just because I always listening to gospel with my mama and stuff. So when my daddy came blasting the music and stuff, it was cool, but I couldn't relate to it. It didn't have that same effect that gospel music had on me, and I saw it had on other people. But when Kanye and his words and how they meant something, song Never Let Me Down, his verse on there, I know they don't want me in the damn club. They even made me show ID to get inside Sam's Club. I didn't do 31 church to get my hands real. And then it came full circle, because I've never heard of a Christian song on secular radio. Mm-hmm. So when Jesus Walks came out, mind you, I'm like in the sixth, sixth grade. When a song talking about Jesus is on Q93, which is like the main hip hop station in New Orleans, I was like, oh, this dude really doing it. Like he doing something different that I didn't think could, coming up in the church, I didn't think that could ever happen.
Right.
So like I was super tapped in with that. And then after Hurricane Katrina, I moved to Texas. I moved to North Dallas, like the Plano Frisco area. And then Late Registration had dropped with Gold Digger,
Mm-hmm.
Diamonds, a whole lot of records. And I'm just like, man, this is like, he really, I want to do that. Like I never felt like, besides basketball, with me watching hoopers wanting to be a professional athlete,
Right.
nothing else was ever so clear that I want to do that. I couldn't put words together at the time. I couldn't put like the thoughts and the ideas, but I just knew that like I would find myself glued to the TV screen or glued to the computer when Kanye West was on there. It was just something about, and then like how he loved his mom and like
Mm-hmm.
how he stood for something. George Bush don't care about black people. Me from New Orleans,
Yeah.
dealing with Katrina,
Yeah.
like it's just something. It was like Kanye West is the reason why I do music. Yeah, for
I
sure.
can see that. I can see how you brought so many other things in it, like the
Yeah,
choir, plus
yeah,
talking about
hell
issues,
yeah.
and also being a rapper that's not talking about
Mhm.
to shoot him up, kill him, or
Yeah,
talking about
and
just the
he one of the first rappers in my generation that actively was trying to get fresh.
that's
Like
true.
he,
He had it
he
on.
was trying to get. He was making a state. He like nah, and he was. Can I curse?
Yeah,
Yeah, he was
you can
talking
talk
his
freely.
shit. Like
Yeah,
he was like, yeah, I'm that nigga, and I don't have to do all of the things that all of the ones came before me. I do beats, but I want to rap.
right.
Like, and he used his beat making to make a way. Like, it was just so inspirational for me. Yeah,
Well, shout out to Ye for inspiring
come on,
a young
man.
brother such as Nilly. So
Come
now we
on.
get the music that we getting from him.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you actually tried to put pen to paper, or was it a phone, a laptop, when you decided, hey, let me actually try to write a song? What does
Um.
that feel like?
So, couple things like coming off me listening to Kanye stuff. I didn't go straight into music. I was like real big into poetry. Like we didn't have no allowance coming up, so like I didn't have no money for real. Like my parents, everything I had was what my parents could provide. So like come birthdays and anniversaries and stuff, I would always write people poems. Like
Mm,
my grandmother, when she turned 50, I would write a poem. Or like for my dad and stuff, I would always do that. So like not knowing that I'm planting the seeds for like
right.
me expressing myself creatively through writing. So I would always naturally do that. So but I remember, and I haven't really told this story before. I remember was in my sophomore year in high school. I heard this. I think his name was Javon or something like that. But he came out with a mixtape. Now keep in mind, we coming off No Ceilings. No Ceilings came
Hmm.
out 2009. So he came out with his own mixtape, rapping on other people's beats and stuff. And I was just like, man, that shit is cool. But I was like, I probably could do better than that.
Right.
And then like so ironically, we had an opportunity to make our own basketball song.
Mm,
Now it was music, people who were in like choir and orchestra and stuff, and a couple of them rap. So I was always drawn to that. So like when I found out they was making a basketball song and I'm on the basketball team, I was like, yeah, let me get a verse on
yeah,
it.
yeah,
So it
yeah.
gave me a little 8-bar verse, and like it was live, and like we were supposed to be sad. Like nobody thought we would win, but we want to win the district championship. So everybody was rocking with the song. So much so to where like this is the first time I felt like, music could travel. Like we go across the city to our crosstown rivals. I'm warming up and somebody like they got these two white boys in the crowd. It's just like, oh, this dude think he a rapper and such blah blah blah. And I'm
Oh,
just like, I didn't even know. I thought only the people that came to our home games, we away and people
right.
know about it. So I'm like, words travel. So I'm just like, I bet. So I did one song, and then I did a song for us. Then our girls soccer team, they wanted a song. So I had more. I pretty much did half of the song. They wanted to win the state championship. So they playing it
Oh,
at
dang.
the arenas every time. So it's just like, okay, so now people are like, okay, you dropping these, like when you gonna do your own thing? And I
Hmm.
remember that boy Javon had that mixtape. So I dropped like my own like no ceilings version. So I dropped one tape, it turned into two. I dropped LSU football song when
Yeah,
we was freshmen
yeah.
and we was cold. So like it really did numbers on YouTube before I didn't know how
It
to
did.
market. It was like a copy and paste type video. It wasn't nothing
Mhm.
special, but it had caught a lot of people's attention. I think it got like 200,000 because
Mm.
we were so good. And then when I was walking around, I heard some like white people play at the tailgates and shit.
Right.
So I'm just like, damn, like this is crazy. And then you know, at LSU, I'm trying to perform as much as possible.
And did.
Like I'm trying to perform at Showtime at the Cotillion,
Mhm.
um, all type of talent shows, step shows, Delta Gym pageant,
Right.
Mr. and Mrs. Imani. Like I'm trying to perform at everything I can. So I mean, it was just me just loving it to where it didn't even feel like work. It just feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. This is the first time I feel like I had a calling
Right.
to do something bigger than myself. So like it never really felt like work. It just felt like what I was naturally supposed to do.
I remember you doing those shows at LSU, the
Nah,
open mics,
facts.
the showcases and stuff, and I was just like, this dude's confidence. Like you came
Right.
out the gate doing that. And at that point, I
Yeah.
hadn't found myself. I didn't have an ounce of that confidence. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, how does he command a room like that, stick his chest out and really just
Mhm.
deliver those bars? Was that confidence always there? Or how did that start to develop by the time you got to LSU?
Well, I mean, I've just never been shy away from like the mic and shy away from just public speaking in general.
Mhm.
My mom, and I'm sure everybody has a type of story like this. The first song I ever memorized from front to back was "I Want It That Way" by NSYNC. Crazy, right?
That's
So
a
you know
very
how
good
like
song.
if you could do something, your mom or your daddy when they got company over,
Get on up there.
like go ahead and sing the song for them.
Mhm.
Go ahead and sing the song for them, boy. So I'm
Right.
just like, tell me why ain't nothing but so like I was kind of forced to always perform on command for real. So when it came time for me, like I had a little solo in a youth choir thing, and then I did choir in high school, and then I did all the talent shows, and I was already just naturally like I felt like it felt easy for me. It felt like natural for me. I ain't gonna say
Mhm.
easy, but it felt natural for me to just do it because the first time I performed, had a spotlight so big to where all I could see is pitch black. So I'm just like, okay, I'm in this bitch by myself. Like
Right.
all I gotta do is what I normally do.
Yeah.
And I was that annoying kid always singing the songs and rapping and stuff. Used to
Right.
get in trouble for rapping lyrics when I was supposed to be studying and stuff. So like, I don't know, it just naturally just been in me. And
Mhm.
I guess it started from like just being around like church choir and stuff. But I mean, it just been natural. Like, so now it's like when it's time to perform, it's just like, okay, this is what I do. The hard stuff for me is like the marketing of a song and promotion and stuff. I could get on a stage with 100,000 people and perform like I'm in my backyard. Like
Yeah.
that's whatever because I'm just like that's what I feel like I was called to do.
Right.
Like so it don't feel like work. It just feel like okay, it's time to and then I always start it's always you always have a first impression. Like right now, somebody watching this is going to that it might be one person that's watched this and they're gonna go back and listen to a song.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna have a first impression by the way I'm speaking to you right now, to where like, let me go listen to what this nigga talking about.
Mhm.
Like, so it's always a first impression. So you gotta think, did you leave a lasting impact or did you miss out on an opportunity? So I'm just like, it's always game time, no
Right.
matter what it is. Yeah.
It's interesting because on your upbringing, it sounds like you started in the choir and you
Yep.
talk about singing a lot. You're singing in front of your family,
Yeah.
and obviously you're a rapper, but you have a good voice as well. And if y'all don't know Nilly and familiar with his music, he has these different freestyles where he's doing over different beats, and he's literally hopping into every different vibe that you can think of.
Facts.
Um, do you have a vibe or a sound that's easier or more fun to you, or that you relate to more?
Um, that's a good question. Nobody never asked me that question. I would say, I mean, what I'm known for is the lyricism,
Mhm.
just because that's what I feel like sets me apart from like my peers and other independent artists is the lyricism. But I mean, I really like to sing on hooks. Like
Yeah.
that's like I remember when Drake was in his So Far Gone bag, and like I remember like people nowadays won't say it, but I remember niggas used to call Drake lame for singing.
Yeah.
Like some people, it was like it was divided. Some people was fucking with it. Some people was like, man, nobody want to hear that singing shit.
Right.
Like people thought that was lame, but I remember that shit. I was like, that shit fire. Like he
Mhm.
can. It's like Drake featuring Drake, and I just thought that was always cool. And me singing way before I even start rapping, it was just like, okay, I got that in my bag. Now, at first, when I started, like I was kind of nervous to do the singing and the
Mhm.
rapping. So I wanted to like just rap. Like they gonna think that's lame. Like just
Okay.
rap. Like, but you gotta use your gifts. So, I'm not saying I'm Chris Brown, but like I definitely could hold a tune. But everything is about melody. Everything is about pitch frequency. Everything is about how what you say makes somebody feel.
Right.
So like some people say sing more. Some people say, nah, we want the bars. But that's a beautiful thing about it. It's all about interpretation. So
Mhm.
like I used to be in my head of like, nah, you gotta rap this way, or you gotta give them this, or you gotta give them a club song, or you gotta do all that. But nah, I'm gonna just give you what I got. And the people who gonna fuck with it, gonna fuck with it.
I like that.
That way the pressure is off. Like I'm gonna showcase what I have for you naturally. And if you rock with it, you rock with it. If you don't, that's cool. But one day you're gonna circle back and you're gonna understand. So
I
that's
feel
what it
that, and I
is.
can feel like that can be. That's good that you have that mindset. Because I
Mhm.
think these days, especially now with social media and you trying to get engagement and having the right content,
Right.
it can be really hard to stay authentic to yourself
Mhm.
versus trying to make a song that you think will go viral
Yeah.
or that the people want. They say it's like the microwave era where you're trying to
Mhm.
hit. Um,
Right.
so I guess my question is, what is your creative process like when you're going into the studio? Is it more of, okay, how am I feeling this day? Is it, okay, play some beats, I'll see what beat I gravitate
Mhm.
towards? What is the direction that you go in when you step in?
So when I go to the studio, it's already done. All I gotta do is execute. I'm
Okay.
not the type of nigga that go into the studio and try to catch a vibe. I'm gonna catch a vibe at home for free. Like
Hmm.
if I'm paying somebody by the
Right.
hour, like the vibe is already caught. I'm going in there with a loaded clip and I'm just getting shots off. So
Hmm.
like, but sometimes that limits my creativity of what I can do. So nowadays I have what I want, but I give myself space to like kind of feel like how the studio session is going and do it different. Like I might have had a certain cadence, and when I'm rapping in the studio and I play it back, and I'm just like, nah, that ain't it. So
Hmm.
I scratch it and then I go to something else, or I leave a spot blank to where like I can, depending on how the vibe is going, I might freestyle into it.
Yeah.
And then some of that should be harder than the shit that I sitting there stressing, writing down for a long period of time. So it's no blueprint to it.
Okay.
Like some of the most fire shit that I've ever put out, it literally took me 5 minutes to make.
Mm.
Like literally. And it was so seamless, or I just go in there and you would think that it took me like weeks to do it or months to do it.
Yeah.
It's taken me like 2 months to come up with a fire hook.
Right.
At the same, like there's no formula to it. Like
Is there
so
no
the cre-
difference in between you doing it for like the freestyle that you post on social media where you're doing it off someone's beat versus intentionally making a song for an
Now that is
album?
different. Now that is different.
Okay.
That is very different. Freestyle, I can do 10 of them shits each day. Like
Okay.
that's
Wow, that's a
nothing.
lot.
That's nothing. Like catching a vibe, and because I naturally, when I listen to a song, I listen to it and I'm like, that's fire, or I would have did that different. Even if it's fire, I would be like, I would have sped it up right here. I wouldn't have kept that same flow, or I would have slowed it down right here, or I would have sang a little bit right here. So,
Mhm.
and that's where the freestyles came. But speaking of the freestyle started to come about when I was dropping projects, and I felt like the same people were listening to the projects. It wasn't the audience wasn't really expanding for real.
Right.
So nowadays, and this is a big thing for any up and coming artist, you have to earn the right for somebody to listen to your song. Even your best friend, your day one homie, like he doesn't have to listen to your song just because you make music. Now, you might feel a way
Yeah.
because he not jamming, but you got to ask yourself, what am I doing to earn the right to make him want to listen? Like,
Yeah.
what am I like? So I start dropping freestyles because when you flow on somebody else's beat, people might already like the song.
Yeah.
So they either A, want to see if you can do it better or want to see if you can do it justice, or B, they might be like, this nigga can't really rap on this type of beat. Let me hear this so I can talk shit.
Yeah.
And that's facts. So like when I come in and I add my own spin and I use certain references of the same, it's like building people like, okay, I like this. And then when I came each week, kept coming back to back. I dropped 15 weeks in a row, 15 freestyles. So like people, but what I was trying to gain was I wanted you to build an appetite to want me to drop.
Right.
That's what I was doing. So people would hit me up in the DMs like, do you just do freestyles? Where your original music at? Boom.
Yeah.
Send them
Yeah.
the link.
Mm-hmm.
And more people, I was building a demand for me to want to drop. Now, certain things happen to where like I moved from LA to here and now we retooling and we got new stuff on the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm about to get back to actively dropping, but you're not Beyonce. You can't just drop out the sky and then think everybody and their mama
Right.
gonna run it up. Like I've been doing this shit for 11 years and I feel like I haven't really done much of anything yet. You see what I'm saying? So like you have to make people want to listen to you.
Yeah.
So shout out to Southside Victor Pope. He just dropped a freestyle. I think you did a cover on it. It's a dude from Dallas. And he basically, long story short, he dropped a freestyle on the radar and it went viral. And he basically was saying like nobody was listening to me like at all.
Yeah.
But now they fucking with me. And it was like a sense of like, I've been putting in this work for such a long time and it went unnoticed. But now they own it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep my foot on these niggas next. And that's how I feel, bro. Like some people might look at me as if like I've done everything. Opened up for Wayne, the VH1 shit with Rick
Yeah.
Ross, like all of the shows and stuff. But I look at it like we got so much work to do. Like we got so much work to do, and that's the thing that keep me hungry to keep doing it.
That's great. I know a lot of people, especially a lot of successful people, have that mindset of, oh, what's the next goal? Okay, stay on their neck. Okay, next. Do
Right.
you take time to just appreciate what you've done so far and recognize the growth that you've had throughout your career?
I do take time to appreciate it, but I take very little time. Like it's a moment of reflection. I pat myself on the back briefly. It's like, all right, what's next?
Yeah.
Because I can't just be looking in the rearview mirror trying to move
Right.
forward. Like, especially because I don't want to be content. Like, and shout out to my brothers for always keeping me going and not letting me be content. It's like, okay, you did this fire, but what's the next shit? What you gonna do next? Like, what you planning to do? Like, you just did a show in Houston, so when you coming back to Atlanta? When you going back to New Orleans? When you going back to LA? Like, when you gonna open up for like these Billboard 100 artists? Like, always challenging me to keep going. And one person might look at it like you're doing everything.
Yeah.
But my circle keeps me grounded to, okay, nah, go higher.
Right.
Because we not gonna let you just feel complacent with just local success or just independent success to an extent. Now go higher.
Yeah.
We got to get to the Grammys. We got to get double XL. We got to get it's still things to climb to.
That's good that you got that circle around you too to support.
Nah,
I
facts.
know that can mean a lot, but I do have to ask you because when I'm listening to your music, I'm hearing through some of the songs, it was a particular theme, particular with Ain't Solid and Froze, where you're talking about people switching up and people out to get you and having a cold heart.
Yeah.
Do you find it hard to find those genuine connections within the industry and people who you can trust?
For sure. For sure. Everybody got their own motive, regardless. Consciously or subconsciously, everybody has their own motive. Like, for example, like somebody might reach out and be like, yo, let's do a song. Let's do a song. I'm like, bet. The way that exchange of words and exchange of ideas happen, they have a motive to why they reached out to you to want to do it. I saw that on that VH1 shit. When I was on VH1, niggas was reaching out. Niggas was trying to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas was like more prone to like send me beats so I could rap on them. Niggas was trying to sign me. Like things was happening. Like, so when the VH1 stuff kind of stalled out a little bit, niggas wasn't so amped to want to work. You know what I'm saying? I'm still killing shit. I'm better. I'm literally better than what I was then.
Absolutely.
Like, but since the buzz is not around, like it ain't, niggas is not so up to collab and shit. So, but I take it for what it is and use it to my advantage. Like you talking to a nigga who I used to send emails in third person. I used to act like I'm managing myself just because that comes across as like, okay, this is an artist. We can't play with him. He got representation.
Absolutely.
So I got a mass comm degree. I know what that looks like. So I'm representing myself. Greetings. This is Marcellus Stewart, representing Five Life Entertainment and Nilly, and we wanted to reach out to you to potentially open up for such and such or whatever. Like I used to do them like 500 emails a day, just trying to get an opportunity to do something. But to bring it back to what you were saying, like when you find, I don't necessarily look at it like people be switching up, but when you find people who are consistent, who really want what's best for you, who don't mind challenging you, because I've been gracious enough to have family who they don't just be like, oh, this is the best thing. Like, I remember one day my daddy called some of my shit trash. He was just like, this ain't it. You need to switch it up.
Yeah.
My mama always like, you need to add some vocal inflections in because people want something that they can sing along to. Like as a choir director.
Right.
And like my brother, like, nah, you don't need to do that. You need to do this, you know, because iron sharpen iron. Like when you look back at success, you're going to look back at the people that challenge you to be great. Like, and also you're going to appreciate the people who are consistently rocking with you. Like there's certain people who you and I know, they have been to every show that I had in Houston.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I appreciate that. So I'm always looking at, rather than looking at the people that switch up, I briefly touched on that, but I'm more thankful for the people who didn't. Like the people who've been rocking with me from day one and actually trying to add value to the piece. It's not just like they got some people who buy all the shirts, come to all the shows, repost all the music, you know what I'm saying? And I'm forever indebted. But it's some of those people who challenge me like, look, you doing this, I love this, I want to see you do this.
Yeah.
Because that just make you grow.
Right.
Iron sharpen iron. So yeah, I mean, that's how it be.
That's dope. I'm assuming outside of your family, correct me if I'm wrong, I assume most of those people come from LSU.
Facts. Facts.
And at LSU is such a beautiful bubble that we lived in where you had that community, you had that back, and you had that support. We're all on campus. We're all on the same page. Is it hard to kind of now transition to being out in the real world and still finding that community that can back you and support you on a close-knit family type of feel?
Not really, because the plan was always for me to use LSU as a litmus test for what will work out in the real world. Like you gotta think, on college campus, you got people from all walks of life, people from all different places, not just domestically, internationally as well. Like shout out my boy Nathaniel Blake. This man is from England and he ran on the LSU track team. So now he listening to my music, you know.
Take
Shout
them
out
back across the pond.
exactly. You know, shout out to some of my frat brothers. They listening to things. One of my frat brothers, Garrett Temple, play in the NBA. Now he's sharing my music with people. I got a song called "In the League" with Guapdad talking about like sports and
Yeah.
stuff. Now he's sharing my songs with NBA All Stars, Zach LaVine jamming to my shit. You see what I'm
There we
saying?
go,
Like,
yeah.
so if it can work on a college campus with all these different people, then it can work in the real world. So like, it was certain things that I would try while I'm performing, like certain phrases, like I feel like all artists need to be doing, and this is a complete sidebar. I feel like all independent artists should be doing some type of call to action. What I mean is when you perform, it need to be when I say something, you say something, you say
Mm-hmm.
like something. I learned that on LSU campus. Like
Yeah.
not just me, but watching other people perform. They had other people who were performing before me. Spoken word artists, singers, always performing. Shout out to Chrissy Freelo. She was performing all the time, and I'm just like, dang, she performing all the time. I gotta step my
Yeah.
shit up. I gotta start performing everywhere. So it got to a point to where like it's like Chanel performing again, but
Mm-hmm.
that's what it takes. Constantly being in people's face. So now, not being at LSU, I have to understand that we are not in those same rooms, same proximity to where they're gonna naturally come to things because they're just looking for shit to do.
Yeah.
Now I have to take that same approach and attach it to social media. Okay, Chanel dropping on Twitter, Chanel dropping on Apple Music, Chanel dropping on IG
Everywhere.
Reels, like
Yeah.
YouTube,
YouTube
like
Shorts.
right. So I have to keep doing it. So that LSU was a litmus test to how you should approach it in real life. And the biggest thing from LSU, music or not, that I feel like all people took from it was networking skills, which should be adapted outside of the LSU network. So
Mm-hmm.
that was the biggest thing for me, just taking that same approach and running it up outside of LSU.
Which you have been doing
Trying, bro.
successfully, in my opinion.
Trying, bro.
And speaking on performing, when I went to your Houston show,
Mhm.
the people there were good artists there,
Right.
but some of the people that went before you, there was a little bit of a disengagement between the crowd and the fans. I think part of the reason was that because of the venue. It's more of maybe a spoken word venue.
Yeah.
And you got up there and you were up there for maybe 15 seconds before you
Yeah.
decided to step down. You said,
Yeah.
fuck this stage, I'm getting down,
No.
I'm right in your face and you're
Yeah,
gonna feel me.
for sure.
So I thought that was really dope. Is performing something that you've always been good at, or did it take time? Did it take practice? Are you thinking about this at home as far as how you're gonna kind of move? Did you have any coaches or influences? How did you get so good at the art of performing?
So of course, church choir again. Just watch people perform in front of a big congregation. So, but studying, bro. Like
Yeah,
athletes, you see an athlete do well during the game, but what you don't see is them in the film room.
that's a
You
fact.
you don't see what they're doing in the film room studying. The artists that I think are great performers, I have studied their performances. Like I know that Kendrick Lamar raps like he might rap fast on the beat, but I know that when he performs, he gonna take out the filler words like the and of. He not gonna say them words. He gonna use that to catch his breath. Because now
Yeah.
you're moving around. He ain't just sitting in the studio. So to make his performance, I'm watching J. Cole command the crowd with a mic stand, make everybody feel like they watching one person. Like I'm seeing how he commands the crowd. So when I watch that, I take that to LSU at some of my shows, and I just do a mic stand sitting down. Like, how can I control? So I'm gonna give eye contact. I'm gonna use my hands in certain ways. My eyes gonna open up a little bit. I might jack the mic up and stand up when I've been sitting down to show a difference of levels and stuff. And but I'm studying this from the greats.
Yeah.
Like people try to knock Kobe because he's emulated Jordan, but who better to emulate? Like
That's a fact.
who
You wanna
better
be
to
great,
who
watch the
better to
greats.
watch? If you got high school hoopers not watching LeBron, KD, Steph, like and doing the things that they're doing, not only doing the things that they're doing in the game, but doing the things that they did to prepare, you're doing yourself a disservice. Same thing with music. True artists, true students of the game, not rappers, because rappers just rap. True artists and people, true performers, they are true to the craft and they are studying the stuff. I believe you shouldn't be performing over your own vocals. I think that you're doing a disservice. Now I know that's like the thing, and if you do that, shout out to you. I wish you well. But I believe true artists should not perform over their vocals. Because when you came to the show, you didn't come to hear a Nilly song. You came to see Nilly rap.
That's a fact.
You came to hear him rap. So if I'm rapping with my words, like I'm fighting my own song.
Yeah.
Like, so I might put my hook in there, but nah, you're going to get open verse and you're going to hear me rapping.
Yeah.
That's also the difference between me and some of the other people that might have been performing. Like I'm rapping over the beat. You might hear my ad libs because I still want to make it seem like a full experience. But that doesn't happen if I'm not studying the greats. If I'm seeing Jay-Z and they play his words in the background, he said, "Cut the beat. I don't rap over the vocals, son. Like we're not doing that." When I hear Jadakiss say, "Why they don't know the lyrics?" Like, you see what I'm saying? But that's from studying the greats. So if you want to be something, you got to study the people who are successful at it.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I picked up on that at the show, if other people were rapping over their vocals.
I pick it up every time, bro.
Yeah.
You see it. Like, but I have special, like if I make a song, I'm making a performance mix as well. Because I want to be able to perform that song in a certain way without my voice in the background. So like, but that's something that I didn't have to become an artist that didn't perform over his vocals. Initially, shout out to Trace, the first person who ever recorded me. He always said, "Nah, we're gonna get you some performance mixes. So when you perform it, you'll be able to do it." Yeah. So he kind of like just instilled that in me. Like the first engineer I ever used, he was like, "Nah, we're gonna get you some performance mixes." Right. And I was like, "All right, bet." Yeah. So now when I'm studying and I'm seeing the greats like Jay-Z, Jadakiss, J. Cole, Kendrick, and they're not performing over their own vocals, I understand why. And then when you do the performance, the comments that I get from people after I perform, like, "Yo, man, you got it, man. Just keep going. Just keep putting in work. Where your music at? Blah, blah, blah." Because that's back to what we were saying earlier, that first impression. I want your first impression to be like, "Damn, this dude gifted." Because some people not bigger than their songs. Some people hear the songs, but they don't know the nigga. They don't know the person rapping the songs. You probably know songs right now. And if that dude was to walk up in here, you wouldn't know him from a can of paint.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make sure that I'm executing my songs, but you feeling me. You're not just feeling the song. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
What do you like most as far as like what gives you the chill when you're actually writing the song and you like, "Oh yeah, that's the one right there," when you recording it or when you up on that stage delivering it?
Stage for sure.
Stage.
Easily stage. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I really don't like the studio for real.
Yeah.
I be trying to get in and get out and get in my car and listen to it. Like, okay, now I'm fucking with it. But it is sometimes when I'm in the studio, when I know I got one, I'm just like, this finna go crazy. But the performance is, because it don't matter what I recorded, if I can't execute it performing in front of a big crowd, that is the best time to promote yourself. People are already in the building. They're already watching you because they've came. A lot of people have paid their money to be there, so they're trying to soak in the experience already.
Right.
They might stumble upon the next great. So people are locked in. So this is the time, because I can have the greatest song in the world and let somebody listen to it. They're gonna be like, that shit was cool. But if they come and watch me perform it, and then boom, buy a t-shirt, follow me on Instagram.
Yeah.
Now they tapped into the YouTube videos and now they backtracking, looking at all of the freestyles. Now it started at that performance. Like somebody can hear a song and it'll be a song and they remember the song, but that's not the thing that gets them to follow the artist. It's seeing the artist actually do it. All right. That's how I interpret it. Like
I can imagine it being that way. Does the performance influence have any influence on the songs you make? Because I would imagine for performing, that's more of a up tempo.
Yeah.
I'm more of a melodic person. I like the mid tempo. I like some
Mhm.
of your some of the songs where you singing to the ladies
Yeah.
type and talking like,
Yeah.
so that's more my vibe. Obviously, everyone has their different vibe probably from you that they like.
Mhm.
But if you're thinking about, okay, I have to make a song that performs well, does that then make you make more of those up tempo songs that have a lot of energy?
I mean, that's a damn good question. Yes, it does, but at the same time, the the cream always rise to the top. Like if you got a dope ass song, you got to find a dope way to perform it. I don't care. Like I said, mic stand, me and a mic stand sitting in a stool.
Yeah.
I need to execute that performance and make you feel me.
Hmm.
I don't need to jump around every single time to give you a good performance.
Yeah.
A lot of people hide behind just jumping around and antics and things like that. And like, nah, like you still gotta deliver bars because it's one thing to rap, but a lot of people are rhyming words, but they're not saying nothing.
Hmm.
Some people got a true message, but they really are not lyrically inclined to make somebody like to make you like feel beyond just like nodding to the beat. Like, so a combination of the two, I'm storytelling and I give you a vibe
Yeah.
on top of lyrical ability. Like you didn't heard one song like, damn, this shit is nasty. Like this nigga is going
Hmm.
like when it seemed like the artist is in moving with perfection almost. That's what I aim for. So, but at the same time, it's like when I get on that stage, I'm just trying to get you to feel me. What I will say is that I probably fucked up like 7 times when I was performing, but I ain't gonna let you know it.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
what does a fuck up look like?
So a fuck up is if I forget a word,
Okay.
if I slur a word, um, if I skip a stanza or something. But this goes back to studying. The Kendrick Lamar pop out show, that
Hmm.
shit was fire.
It was legendary.
But me being a student, I know every single time Kendrick Lamar fucked up them
I
lyrics.
saw him start dancing at one point. He just
Right,
started
right.
trying to
You see
jig
what I'm
into it a
saying?
little bit.
But that's performance.
Yeah.
That's you wouldn't like the average person wouldn't know it if they didn't really study it for real, for real. But that comes with performing as well. You got to make your mistakes look like you out here jamming and being free and full of life.
Yeah.
Like most people, based on that performance that I had in Houston, they wouldn't have known that I fucked up.
I
Like
didn't know at all.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly, because I'm not letting you do that. Some artists like they fuck up and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna keep rapping. I'm gonna keep
Mhm.
swagging. Like I
Keep
might
going.
might get in somebody's face. I might jump
Yeah.
around. I might. You see what I'm saying? Because that's the art of performing. It's not just about the song. It's about what energy you give off. Whether you doing a good job or whether you feel like you fucking up, you gotta have the same intensity and the same engagement with the crowd, like you killing it. And then, yeah, that's what it's really all about for sure.
Nice. I saw on your Balance album you had a clip where you ran into J. Cole.
That's my shit.
Do
That
you remember what he told you?
Oh, I definitely remember what he told me. So to give you backstory
Oh,
on
so I
that,
got it right here. If you don't,
yeah,
I
yeah,
ain't mean to
yeah.
put you on the spot.
No, no, no. I give you backstory on the whole thing, right?
Okay, cool.
So I stay at the New Side Frat House, and I wake up. I get like a bunch of tweets, a bunch of text messages. J. Cole at LSU, nigga, go there and rap for him.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? This nigga on the Quidditch field, nigga,
Oh,
go
I didn't
rap
know it was
for him.
that day. Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't that day. Follow
Okay.
me real quick.
Yeah.
So I go out there, he performing. You got that security guard. The security guard really blowing me like, oh, nobody come next to Cole. I'm like, this nigga came to LSU amongst college students. What you thought was about to happen? So
Mhm.
long story short, he playing with the track team and playing with some football players. He get off the bus. He come on the bus. My nigga Jordan B. August. Shout out my nigga Jordan. He like, I was standing in the back and he was signing autograph. He said, nigga, fuck this shit. Nigga, you got to get to the front. Fuck all these niggas. You got to get to the
Yeah.
front. So Mind you, I'm performing at LSU. So when I started moving to the front, people knew what was about to happen. People understood. You had some people like, oh shit,
right.
Let me get on my phone.
Yeah, we support.
Like, so crazy. I get to the front right there. I'm about to start rapping, and another nigga start rapping right when I get to the front.
No.
So I'm just like, I'm like fucked up. But the nigga rapping and he not really hearing him. So I just start rapping over him. Fuck it. Rapping. Fire shit. Cole and this bitch signing autographs. I'm where you at. Cole signing autograph. So you look. I'm rapping my ass off. I'm rapping like this is like sign me, nigga.
Rent is due.
Right. So he signed. And then just stopped, just looking at me rap. I was like, that's a moment of bliss that you can't even describe. Like my favorite rapper is watching me rap and shit. So I'm rapping, but I finish. I dap him off. Stay prepared. Got the mixtape in the LSU shorts.
My God.
You see what I'm saying? With the wristbands, with the handles on and all that. I gave it to all this team and shit, whatever. So that was that day.
Yeah.
Fast forward, Forest Hills Drive. He said that he was gonna do a small city leg. People are like, why is Cole coming to the varsity?
Right.
Now, mind you, I'm living in a frat house. Frat house is literally walking distance to the varsity. So I go to the show, blah, blah, blah. And I want him to sign like a t-shirt and stuff, but he don't come out. So we go to Canes. Shout out to Canes. We go to Canes. We take that little duck off to get back to the frat house, and we see the bus. And I'm just like, oh shit, he might actually come out. It's like 4 girls, 2 niggas, me, my nigga Justin, my nigga Jordan, my nigga Zay. We walk up, we see that same weak ass security guard from the Quidditch field. Same nigga. Cole gonna come out. But no pictures. If I see one camera, we shutting this shit down. Cause it was only like 11 of us out there.
Yeah.
So, cause mind you, the show was way over. We was sitting cooling at Canes, eating box combos, talking about how loud the show was. So we get back out, everybody parked by the frat house. So we go to the duck off, we see him, and then Cole came out. Nigga, and that shit was crazy. He was signing. And then the first thing I said, I rapped for you last time. He was like, oh, it was you up at the school? I met somebody that know you. I was like, somebody that know me? And he was like, yeah, somebody that, yeah. And I was just taken back. I was like, that's crazy. I said, give me one piece of advice. He touched me on the chest. He said, you got to speak from the heart. Don't always try to chase what's already being done. You got to speak from the heart. He said, that's what I say. I was like, my nigga, dapped him off. We dapped him off. So we walking. I was like, damn, that shit crazy. My nigga Justin, stupid ass. He said, I met somebody that know you. I was like, oh shit. And I was just like, that shit was crazy. Like, I was like, son, that nigga dope. And then my nigga Jordan, clutch as fuck, was recording, had a video. And he was recording, pressed the record button, and the phone was in his pocket.
Right.
And he said, and I all got it on camera. He said, you did? And he was like, oh, shit. I held that video for probably like 5 years, bro. Yeah. Because I couldn't find an engineer who could clean up the soundbite. I gave it to my nigga Ty. Shout out Ty. At Vibe Studios in Prairieville, Louisiana. I gave it to him. He cleaned that audio. He brought up the levels. It's still muggy because it was from a phone recording in a pocket.
You can hear it.
Right, but you can hear it though.
I heard it.
Right. And I was just like, bro, that shit is so fucking live. So long story short, I was like, after a Cole interlude, I can't come with no weak shit.
Nah,
I can't drop a weak song after that. So like that song, Twists and Turns, is probably the most heartfelt, the most storytelling, the most, like, I got into some deep topics in that song. And that's probably, I would say that lyrically, that's probably my best song today. But it stemmed from that moment. And I was, Cole said, you got to speak from the heart. So I'm just like, all right, this is what I got. Like, and it was just crazy. Like, shout out to J. Cole, man. Shout out
Yeah,
to J.
shout out to
Cole,
Cole
bro.
and shout out for you having that moment with
That was
him
fire
and
as
having
fuck.
it etched in history.
Right.
And
Facts.
then, like you said, following up and being like, all right, I got that stamp on it. Now
Right.
I'm writing twists and turns.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is it hard to get into that storytell mode? Because obviously, some of that stuff can be very personal to you or to
Mhm.
your loved one. Is that something that you draw from often, or you plan on drawing from in the future?
Always draw from it in the future. The the twist and turn songs are really easiest for me because these are my natural experiences. Like the songs where like I'm basically spoken word in rap form, like those songs are the easiest songs for me. I can do those songs constantly. The challenge comes when I want to translate some of those same experiences and make you vibe to it, make you dance to it,
Mhm.
make you bob your head to it. Like that's where the challenge comes. But I attack the challenge and it's just and I feel myself the biggest thing, and we've had conversations about this, and you send me words of encouragement about this, is the growth.
Mhm.
Like the initial performances and the performances now
Yeah.
are like night and day.
Yeah.
Because a lot of independent artists, and it's not just independent artists, it's people, entrepreneurs in general, they get so social media has made everything so attainable to where it's like we see the finished product from somebody else, but we are constantly comparing ourselves to other people who are successful and like, dang, he did it and he's younger than me, or I plan to do this at this time. And we constantly doubting ourselves. But the one thing that I've just learned is, have you got better today than you was yesterday? And if you consistently do that each day, I'm better today. I'm better today because of the conversation that we having. That's sparking me up. So it's like, well, the next time we talk, I gotta have some more shit to
Yeah.
talk about. So like that's making me better. Like just get better each day. And then you're gonna look back a year and you're gonna be like, damn, that's what I used to be on.
Right.
This is what I'm doing now? Shit, I bet. All right, let's keep getting better every day.
How do you
Like,
think you've grown since your last album? I know you dropped the EP
mm,
last year, but since the
mm,
last album, Balance, how do you feel
yeah.
like you've grown since then?
Oh my. So balance is my shit. Like I don't really I'm somebody that I don't really be listening to my own songs for real. Cause I be listening to other people and critiquing and just getting inspired. But balance, I honestly like if I do a road trip, that's the first thing I'm playing. Balance from
Nice,
top to bottom.
great
From
album.
from Shayna all the way down to Twists and Turns. Like um I love that project because that was a I feel like I held nothing back.
Yeah.
I was the most transparent
Hmm.
that I've ever been. Um, and that was it seemed like that was the most rewarding project because of the features that I have on there, the cold
Hmm.
stamp, the twists and turns being vulnerable like about life situations, songs like In the League and Stephen A. Me being a sports junkie.
Yeah.
Um, and then songs like End of the Day and Serbia. Like Serbia is like probably, if not my most fire song that I've ever put out. But I'm just so proud of that body of music. But it's like, had I had the marketing mind that I had back then in 2021, like I feel like that body of work could have amplified me to like new heights. So now it's just like in the spirit of trying to be better. The next time I come out with a full length project, it got to be like, okay, you can't you can't not top that. So
Yeah.
if I hold that in high regard, this next body of work, it got to be on some next level shit.
Right.
Like for sure. But that's the thing that keeps me grounded and that's the thing that keeps me progressing. I'm always trying to outdo myself. Like the biggest thing that like will mess me up to the core when somebody's like, "Oh, this was cool, but I like your last shit better."
Mm. And we
Nah,
do that to all
like
our famous.
right,
We do that
right,
all to all the famous rappers. You want
right.
the old
I'm
Drake, the
trying to
old
keep
Cole.
getting better every
Right.
single time. But but yeah, man, the next full length project is gonna be my best piece of work. I've already started working on it. Some of the beat selection, some of the I don't want to speak too much on
I
it,
was about
but
to say, give
like
us the
yeah,
exclusive. What vibe we
nah,
gonna be
I
getting
don't
to
want to speak too
singing?
much on it, but it's the singing will be heavily like it almost was like an R&B album. But I was just
Okay,
like I was like nah. But we going to add a piece of that in every single song
I like
for
that.
sure. Um this is going to be the most unapologetic piece of body of work. But I got a couple of joints dropping before that,
Hmm.
which I'm super excited about. But yeah, I can't wait.
How involved are you with the beat selection process? Do you work with like a handful of the same producers? Or you just scouting YouTube for beats? Like, how do you find
Um
what you're gonna hop on?
Not really YouTube. I've never really been a YouTube beat from like a clearance standpoint. I
Right.
want to work with people who I can call and have a conversation with, essentially. Um, I got people who like I shout out to Chop Squad DJ. He produced Froze and a song I had with King Los called All the Time. Chop
Mm,
Squad DJ. Um he produced for King Von, Lil Durk. He produced What Happened to Virgil, Lil Durk, and
mm,
Lil Durk and Gunna. He produced Topanga by Trippie Redd. But that's somebody that I can call and tap in with. But I got other producers like it's this girl called Jazz Beats. She produced Stephen A
yeah.
and Balance. Fire. So fire. And we exchange texts all the time, like, yeah, we gotta get another one in and
Right.
stuff. So it could be somebody that's on Billboard Top 100, or it could be somebody independent in Atlanta. Like when I said got this beat special made up in Serbia, yeah, really from Serbia. That was a guy who's from Serbia
Mm,
who his name is LP on the track.
yeah.
He's from Serbia, and through emails and social media, he's like, "Let me send you some beats," and I listened to the beat, and I was just like, "This shit is fire as fuck."
I was about to ask, are you reaching out to them, or are they finding you and reaching out to you usually?
Sometimes I'm reaching out to them. Sometimes people who follow me send me like, "Yo, y'all need to work."
Hmm.
So I would reach out, and then they would send a pack, and then I would sit there and then I would try to reach out and call them and be like, "Yo, I think this, and this, and this," and then we put it together. But
Nice.
sometimes, I mean, people send me beats all the time, but it's about the genuine connection. Like if somebody's like, "Yo, I want to work with you. I want to, I want to see if I can add some value to your project," and we sit and we build like for real.
Hmm.
Like I'm always gonna honor that, and but naturally, it's just whatever you catch a vibe to
Yeah.
because Balance was like 11 songs, but I listened to like 100 beats just to get those beats together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a unique experience, but I have a wheelhouse of producers, but I'm always looking for people to collaborate with. And there's going to be some more top producers on my next project.
I love that.
Yeah,
Don't be
for
stingy
sure.
with the beats producers. Go ahead and let my boy Nilly hop on.
Come on with it. You're going to get some return
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I like that. Are you still having fun with the process? Obviously, we talk about the business side of it,
Mhm.
and that your joy is in the actual music making experience.
Yep.
But you also, especially now, you also have to have the marketing and the business. And
Yeah.
you talked about, you writing emails in
Mhm.
third person.
Mhm.
Does that kind of draw you down some? And how do you balance the duality of having to do both?
Oh, we don't do that no more. Shout
Okay,
out, shout out to Tay.
we got a team
Shout out to
now.
Tay Classics, man. My manager, man. She be putting in work, man. She be putting in work, and she be checking me like she be like, "Nigga, what a music? Like
Right.
we dropped the freestyles, but now you done moved to Houston, and you not like, come on, what's the next
Hmm.
thing? Like challenging me constantly, and always sending me dope things to keep in mind. She constantly works on my behalf. She gives me the spirit to be in the music because when I didn't have a manager, the administrative was taken away from the creative. And as an artist, you need to be immersed in the creative,
Yes.
especially in this TikTok era. Like you need to constantly be thinking about how can we create content? How can
Hmm.
we transform this into this? So shout out to Tay, man. We be putting in work. She be calling me like, all right, nah, you ain't dropping a little minute. We need
Right.
where the music at? The
Yeah.
people asking, like, we don't want to lose that momentum. As I see you going to New York, but like, what we doing in New York? We
Right.
collabing or we just playing around? Like, we ain't got time
Mhm.
for all that. Like, that's what you need. And you know, she does a great job. So shout out to Tay. But she allows me to be more so in the creative. And she brings that second ear, like, nah, we ain't doing that. We gonna do this or blah, 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 which I never really had for real. So
Mhm.
like, she definitely bringing value, and a lot of people like a lot of the looks in the freestyle videos, a lot of the different things I was wearing. She's also a celebrity stylist. She
Okay.
styled the likes of Polo G, um, so many people,
Right.
so many people. But Rich the Kid, she styled him for the Grammys, like all types of things. So like, she be doing her
So
shit,
you
and
got you a
I'm
good one.
right.
Says the person who said they ain't came a long way. You know, you done got manager now, a stylist, been on
Yeah,
TV,
yeah,
performing here, about to go to New York
yeah,
tomorrow.
yeah.
If you could go back in time, see your younger self before you had all this, and when you first fallen in love with music and starting to get
Mhm.
into music, what would you tell your younger self?
Do it, nigga. Like, don't waste no time. Like, don't think you have time to progress. Do it now. Like,
Hmm.
do it now and do it every day. My daddy used to say all the time, like, he was like, if Kobe Bryant is shooting 5,000 shots, what
Talk
makes you
about it.
think you don't need to be working on your left hand?
Right.
Like, he the best, and he outworking you. And he already a millionaire. So what you doing? Like, my biggest piece of advice for anybody that wants to do it, you're only gonna get better at doing it by doing it.
Hmm.
You have to do it.
Got to do
And
it.
you have to do it every day. So now when I perform, it's not a tall task because I really do this shit every day.
Right.
Like, I'm rehearsing in my whip on my way to work all the time. Like, I'm running ideas with my friends. Like, yo, what y'all think if I start writing for women? Like, to get that perspective out there and
Do it.
then get that out. What y'all think if I start taking piano lessons so I can start making my own beat? Yeah, nigga, do it, do it.
Yeah.
You gotta do it, bro. Because we spent so much time thinking about it.
Hmm.
Time has passed, and we could have been doing it.
Yeah.
Like, just do it, bro. Like, get out there, put yourself out there, be as vulnerable, and don't be afraid to fail.
I like
Fail
that.
fast,
Yeah.
because as many times as you fail, the successful moment is coming. Because one thing that my dad always told me, we never lose. We either win or we learn. That's two wins. In your losses come a learning lesson that you can apply to win more.
That's a fact.
So like,
That's a
just
fact.
go out there and do it, and then
I,
you're gonna become better because of it.
I like that.
Yeah.
But before I let you get out of here, is there anything, if you could thank your fans for one thing or tell your fans, the people
Hmm.
who've been supporting you, one thing, what
Yeah.
would you tell them?
Um. Thank you for allowing me to grow. Thank you for allowing me to put my best foot forward, be vulnerable. Thank you for allowing me to thank you for understanding who I am and showing up for me every single time. I'm the type of person, I read every comment, I read every DM. Um, I'm never too high on my horse to not feel appreciative of every single body who supports me. Even if I don't respond back quick, I thank you, and I pray for you like I hope you pray for me. So yeah, just gratitude, bro. That's what it's all about. Because um and also know that I'm not gonna let you down. Like, them conversations you have sending me, motivating me to keep going. I think about that because it's times when it's not sweet. It's times when it's not on TV.
Yeah.
Everybody not reposting. It's times when it's just me and an empty pad, and I'm just like, I gotta make this shit work. But the things that keep me motivated is love from my family and the love from the people who support me. So thank you, and we're gonna have the last laugh for sure.
I love that.
Yeah,
And we want to thank you for coming and talking to us. I feel like I know you a lot better.
yeah.
I'm excited for what you got coming.
Hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nilly.
Yes, sir. The 5 way.
Make sure you like, subscribe, share, send a friend to a friend.
Yeah.
Subscribe, all that stuff. We'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Love you.
Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, ITS_NILLY. The 5 way.
That way.
Yeah.